All right, I'm gonna hop on here. Let a few minutes, maybe about a minute pass, just to see a few people show up. If you're here, can you comment? Let me know. It still shows 0. Welcome to B Sports Picks. Today, I'm gonna hook you guys up with 4 plays. Actually, I'm gonna go through 4 games, and then you guys can decide if you're gonna go with them or not. I already put in my bets. I do like 4 teams today. One of them is a little bit fishy, but I'm gonna give you a very strong parlay. So again, I'm going to walk through 4 games. I'm going to give you like the full breakdown. I already finished up like the layout and everything, so I'm going to just kind of go through it. And I'm just letting you know, man. Right now we're in a regression stage. Yesterday, everything that could have gone bad went bad. So, for example, some of the plays that we had was the Tigers, and then it got rained out or whatever. It got canceled. So a lot of the plays didn't actually play. They got canceled. And then one of them I did under I'm sorry, I gave it away for the VIP for over 1 hit, and I actually placed the bet wrong. So I lost $75 just because I placed the bet wrong. I did Westberg from the Orioles to get 1 hit, and instead of doing the 1 hit, I did the under 2 hits for whatever reason. Sure enough, that dude got 2 hits. And anyways, it was just that kind of day. Like, what the hell's going on? So anyways, I'm just letting you know right now, it's one of these things where this is part of this business where it could be very, very good. And then all of a sudden it goes to shit. So it's right now we're in that phase. We've been having a very massive month. And then yesterday and the day before was a slight loss a day before. And then yesterday was a little bit of a bigger loss. I think we lost like 2 units. Anyways, I'm going to be hooking you guys up. I'm going to be showing you 4 teams that I'm looking at, 4 games I'm looking at. And I'm going to go through the whole breakdown. But before I get started, I can ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you like and comment. If you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe. And if you're anywhere else besides YouTube, go to the link in the description and get the free picks. Also, go to YouTube and subscribe there. All right, guys, let me get right into it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be answering them as I'm doing this, okay? Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it, man. So I do have a lot of good information here today. So the Reds, the line, it moved. I actually saw this last night. I was telling my business partner, like, I can't think of why this would happen for the Reds, but I mean, there's more information now, but last night I didn't have a lot of information, but basically it went from an underdog. Let me kind of zoom in a little bit. Let me zoom in here. So you can see the line actually shifted from a plus 108 to a minus 112. What that means is that they were underdog. Hold on, let me zoom out. What the hell's going on here? Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to show you guys here, but it's not letting me zoom in like that. So anyway, it's kind of hard to see there, but basically what I'm trying to show you is that it's a plus 108, and now it's shifted to a minus 112. So basically they were underdogs as an underdog, and now they're favorite. So whenever I've said this before, whenever a team flip-flops from being an underdog to a favorite, you have to pay attention, because it doesn't there's a lot of heavy money that's coming in order for that to happen. This is actually wrong. There's a 18-point swing towards the massive reverse line move. Okay. So anyways, you can see right here, 64% of the money is coming in on the Twins. So for the line to shift this much, and for the line to shift this much, and there's 64% of the bets, 55% of the money coming in on the Twins. Like I said, that takes a lot of heavy money to be coming in on the Reds in order for that to happen. That's just a little 9% discrepancy there. Classic sharp money indication. So here's some of the information that I have, okay? There's a lot of information, but I'm going to go through it real quick. 4 consecutive wins, 4 consecutive series. They've won 9 wins in the last 12. They have a better record. They're tied second place. What else? Now you look at the Twins, 6-game losing streak. They're less than 500. It says trail Atlanta Central leader, 0-6 in the last 6 road games. That's a 0% hit rate in the last 6 games. They're struggling significantly away from home. I'm not going to get into all these details, but there's a lot of information here. Basically, they're showing you the Twins do have a little bit of a better record when they've played each other, but that goes back to last season, so you don't have to really count that. Now you look at the recent form, it's 4-6 for the Twins, 6-4 for the Reds. So the Reds are looking decent overall. Now you look at the starting pitchers. You got Martinez over here with a 3.9 versus Paddock at a 4.3. It just gives you more information there. And again, the rank for OPS, they're both ranked decent at a number 7 for OPS. What that means is the on-base percentage. So these two teams are getting on base, okay? So they're both tied at ranked 7 for OPS. Cincinnati Reds have a better bullpen. The Minnesota bullpen, the Reds have a more reliable overall bullpen. The bullpen for the Twins is less. They got a very bad 5.0 ERA. If you don't know what that means, it's basically saying that the pitching staff has a very bad ERA. So whenever the starting pitcher gets tired or whatever, they see them getting rocked, they take them out, and then that's considered the bullpen. So when the bullpen comes in, they're very bad. They're worse than the starter, okay? Now you look at the overall win probability market. Reds are supposed to win this. They have a 69% chance of winning this game. And then right here, this is something called the 9th inning. So what I do is I look at the 9th inning to see what the market is saying. And in this case, it's saying it's a pretty heavy juice at a -155, saying that the Reds are not going to bat in the 9th. And all that means, again, is that they think the market and the sports books are saying that the Reds are not going to bat in the 9th, meaning that they're going to be winning the game by the time they get to the 9th. Okay, there's really no massive injuries. I'm not going to get into all this. This is basically a breakdown of everything I just said. Okay, and what I did want to mention, guys, if you haven't done so, go to the link in the description, click on free picks. Also, check out this thing here, which is the Sharp Edge. And the Sharp Edge is basically everything I'm just showing you right now. And I'm doing something called for $10 a month. You basically get all of this for $60. All right. So everything I'm showing you here, you're going to get it for $10 a month. And you get it right in your email every morning. All right. So anyways, I do like the Reds. I actually got them since last night. I shared it today with the VIP. I just shared it today because I wanted to make sure I was looking at the correct data with the line move and all that stuff. I wanted to make sure it was not a fluke. And now that I see all this information, I do like the Reds today. The Discord is $10. We have a lot of information. I'm going to actually show you some screenshots of some stuff. Once I finish this, I'm going to show you some screenshots of something that we're working inside in there. We're sharing a lot of plays in there as well. But there's something called the Nerfies, where I'm going to show you the research that I threw in there this morning, so you can see how good that is. That alone is worth the $10 for Discord. But anyways, Bob says Discord was popping last night. Lots of money in the live. Cool, man. I missed it, and like I said, I was having one of these days where it was just everything was going the wrong way, and I didn't even look at it, to be honest. But I did see this morning there was people posting their wins and stuff like that, so that was cool. All right, so here we go. Yankees versus Angels. Now there is one very heavy thing that you need to know about the Yankees. They're one of the worst teams to get on base right now. Everything else matches except the on-base percentage. Okay, so for them to be this heavy is very questionable. However, the line is still shifting towards the Yankees. So you can see it went from 260 to 270. It did strengthen their favorite position. Angels have very little money coming in. Yankees do have all the percentage, or most of the percentage, most of the money. The public is all over the Yankees, like always. And so let's keep going here. Win-loss record for the Angels is pretty bad. Actually, it's decent, 68%. So that's another thing. I just noticed this. The Angels have a 68% hit rate on the road games, which is elite road performance. They've won 5 straight games in Yankee Stadium. You see, so there's a lot of contradictions here now that I see it. So be careful with this Yankees game. I did put it in, but I put it in as a money line, and I parlayed it together with something else. And I'll tell you exactly what I went with. So there is strong indications that the Angels have a chance to win this, even though that this line is super heavy and is still shifting in that direction. So there's a lot of information here. Let me keep going. Angels. All right. So now let's look at the Yankees. Damn, they've lost 8 of the last 18 games. Longest losing streak since August 2023. 30 scoreless streak. Five runs scored in the last 6 games. Damn, this is not looking good at all. All right. Last 10 games, Angels are 7-3. Yankees are 3-7. I'm starting to think I should go with the damn Angels, man, or a plus, because the Angels getting a lot of plus money. Let me try to figure out why this is happening. So I'm telling you, I went with the Yankees at a +1, not the money line, but I parlayed it with something else. And that's for these reasons, especially with the OPS, being that the OPS is bad for the Yankees. Captain is asking, Beast, will you be shouting out soccer money line plays? I don't do soccer. If you want soccer stuff, look inside the Discord. I know Outsider does that inside the Discord. Sometimes I don't think he's been doing it lately, but you can check that out. I don't do soccer. So all right, here we go. So this is probably the reason. Now that I'm thinking about this, they do have their best pitcher on the mound, which is Rodon. He's going against Anderson. Anderson is not bad at all, but look at his record, 2-4 compared to 8-5 over here for Yankees. So he does have a very good ERA, and he's decent. He is one of their best pitchers. Now look at this. The rank is 14th, so they're not great to get on base for the Angels. But this is what I was saying, that is red highlight is point. They're one of the worst in baseball to get on base right now. So if you guys don't want to touch this, I wouldn't touch it. But you can see they're supposed to win this by. This is the win probability of 68%, and that's because of the pitching as well. So the bats are not doing good at all, but the pitching is amazing right now. And their line is super heavily favored, and they got even more favored. All right, so I am taking the Yankees at a +1, and I'm going to parlay that with the next team I'm going to talk about. Actually, it might be the next team after that. Let me see. Yeah, the next team is Detroit Tigers. So the way I'm playing the Yankees, I would not touch them at all. If you're going to go straight up or -1.5 or -1 or money line, I would stay away from all that. The only way I'm playing the Yankees is at a +1, and that's because Rodon is pitching. Okay, so Angels are very bad as well. They're a little bit better recently, but they're not good against Rodon. All right. Enough with the Yankees. Now let's go into the Tigers. You can see this is super heavily favored. We had them yesterday. It got canceled. The line was, when the line is usually, I've talked about this before, when the line is over -300, usually it goes backwards. It goes to the other team because it's so heavily juiced already. But in this case, it's still going further. So -320 going to a -325. It's actually a 5-point line move, not a 15. It's still strengthening the favorite. 12% of the bets, 14% of the money is coming in on the Pirates. But you can see over here, 88% of the money and 86% of the bets is coming in, or the other way around. 88% of the bets, 86% of the money is coming in on the Yankees. The Tigers. 8-3 record for the Tigers. They beat the Tigers 7 out of the last 10 games. Now look at the Pirates. Pirates are 3-6. They are decent recently, but they just had Paul Skeens play as well, so they've been doing a little bit better. The Pirates overall, the last 10 are 3-6. What is this? Oh, this is when they've played each other. Okay, so they are pretty decent here head to head, both of them. Overall, covering spreads the last 10 games, they're both pretty standard. Now you got the over-unders. It's looking a little bit like the overs over here when they play each other, but then you got a heavy under for the Pirates, and that's usually because they have decent pitching. All right. Tigers at home have won on the over four out of the last 5 games. Now we got Haney and Screwball, okay? Screwball is their best pitcher. He is actually one of the best pitchers in baseball. So that's the reason I had him yesterday. And then that's the reason I'm getting them today. Haney is actually decent as well, but nowhere compared to Screwball. Look at this, 1.99 ERA, 111 strikeouts. Compare that to 60 strikeouts over here. All right, 7 wins, 2 losses. Tigers, that is their best pitcher. He is literally one of the best pitchers in all of baseball right now. The Tigers are ranked number 3 for OPS, meaning that they get on base. They're the top 3 teams to get on base in the last 7 games. Compare that to the worst team, the Pirates. Okay, so the way I'm playing this, I'm gonna just tell you straight up the way I'm playing this. I'm gonna take the Yankees at a +1, and then I'm doing the Tigers at a -1. I'm putting those together. So if that didn't make sense, let me actually show you the slip. It looks like this. All right. Let's see. Yankees +1 and Tigers -1. All right. I hope that makes sense. So that's the slip, guys. I'm going to show you one more team that I like. But before I do, guys, if you like this breakdown and you want to see these breakdowns every day, it's like $10 a month. And again, that is under called Sharp Edge. I showed yesterday where I'm working on getting this in a nice little dashboard instead of having this all written out like this. It's going to actually be a dashboard where it'll have all these numbers and everything nicely. But I'm not there yet. That's what I've been working on. But for now, I still have to read this manually, which is still decent because it has a lot of information. Let me keep going, guys. But let me just finish this up. Tigers 4-4, 4.4. That's the reason I'm going with a -1. They're not heavily projected to win by a lot. You can see they're projected to win by 1 run. Okay. Anyways, projected to win 74%. Current line is very heavy. It's still going heavier, just like I mentioned. Right here where it says Tigers favored not to bat in the 9th. I'm not going to explain all that again, but basically they're heavily favored that they're not even going to bat on the 9th. What that means is that they're going to be winning the game before it gets to the 9th inning, that they don't even have a chance to bat anymore because they just win the game. All right. It does say that Brian Reynolds is... Damn, it's even telling... Look at this. This is crazy. It's even telling me Reynolds' wife went into labor, so he's not playing. All right. And I used to actually joke about this, man. I'm like, man, some people that know sports and they know the betting markets and all this stuff, they know so much, like that the dad was pissed off at them or the wife is mad at them. And that's perfect what it just says right here. Look at this. Reynolds' wife went into labor, so he's not playing today. All right. Anyways, this is the breakdown. It tells you the breakdown of everything I just said. And then this is the last game I'm going to talk about. So I just gave you 3 of them. I'm going to look at the Reds, the Yankees at a +1, the Tigers at a -1, and then I'm looking at the Phillies. The Phillies started at a -156, and now they're at a 166. That's over here. 10-point line move towards the Phillies. 79% of the bets, 82% of the money. Recent form had a 5-game winning streak, and then they lost. So they just lost their winning streak, I believe was yesterday. And one thing I will tell you, man, with the Phillies, they tend to let me down. So I'm still going to bet them because everything is pointing in their direction. But they have tended to let me down in the past, like 2 times. So just be aware of that. Like I said, it's a regression time right now. So I shouldn't have gone with them, but it is what it is. Everything does point towards them to win. I'll keep going here. They've won 8-3, 8 of the last 3. I'm sorry. Let me go. This is the Marlins. So they did win 8-3 in the last recent game. Okay. They did break that record, just like I said. However, that is 1 of 6 in the last 7 games. So they're in terrible form, it's saying here. It is saying that they're at home. So it's saying the Marlins are at home. And that's, let me confirm that. Yep, they're at home. Marlins are at home, and they're terrible at home. They're 14% hitting on the last 7 games. All right, Phillies are 5-5. Marlins are 6-4. Over-unders look decent, but there's nothing that stands out. It's a contradiction right there. It does say that the under has hit 8 times out of the last 10 for the Marlins at home. Probable pitchers, you got Cabrera over here for the Marlins, 4.1, and then you got Sanchez, 3.05. So this dude has a much better record, a lot more stability, a lot more, how can you say, a lot more experience. So I wouldn't say experience, but he definitely has more games. Look at this. He's got 7 games compared to 4 games. He's got 88 strikeouts compared to 58 strikeouts. He has a better ERA. All right. So that's just broken down a little bit better. Phillies and Suarez. So again, guys, if you want this sort of information, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to tell you straight up how I'm going to play that one. But if you guys want this one, it's called the Sharp Edge. That's the link in the description. But before you do that, make sure you get the free picks also. And I'm doing, if you type in the word trial, you'll get that for $60 total for 6 months. So basically, it's $10 a month. All right. That's only for the first 10 people. All right. Let me keep going. Hey, what's up? He's saying, what am I missing? So if somebody can recap what I've said, please, because that's a lot of information. All right. So let me keep going here. The rank for 7th versus 10th on the OPS, meaning the Phillies are decent. Recent highlights. I don't like to see this. I'm actually going to remove this section. I don't like to see the recent highlights. It doesn't really matter what happened, like the granular stuff. So look at this. 5.3 versus 4.0 is the projected score. Phillies to win, 68% chance. The current line was minus 166. I believe I took these guys straight up. Let me see. Yeah, I took these guys straight up at a minus 140 odds. So I was able to find the odds of minus 140. All right, then right here, this is very good too. It's saying the Marlins are supposed to bat in the 9th inning. And again, what this means, guys, basically, if you don't understand what this means, is that whoever's at home, they get a chance. They're the last ones to bat. Okay, so if they're not tied and they're losing, they have to bat because they're losing. But if they're winning, they don't bat anymore. So what this is saying is that the Marlins are supposed to bat in the 9th, and that's a heavy juice for them to bat. So what this implies is that they're going to be losing the game, so they have to bat in the 9th. All right. There's some more research here. Castellanos says he's been returned. That ended. Okay, this doesn't really matter. They're just saying that Castellanos has just returned from injury. So, okay. And then this is a comprehensive assessment. It just literally tells you everything I just said. So there's just a breakdown of everything I just said. And again, guys, if you guys are interested in that, make sure you go to the link in the description, click on free picks. I'm going to show you guys something else we've been working on Discord. And we'll go from there. All right. So go to the link in the description, click on free picks. Also, if you're on Twitter or anywhere else, go to YouTube and type in B Sports Picks and make sure you subscribe over there. And then go to the Sharp Edge. Now, if you type in the word trial, you're going to get this for 6 months for $60. Only the first 10 people are going to get this price. So just type in the word trial, and you're going to get I think it's $30 off right here for 6 months, $60. All right. What's up, Ralph? Thanks, 3. All right, guys, check this out. This is something me and my business partner, he has been working on it a lot more than I have, but I'm starting to help him now. And this is the type of information I'm pulling. So basically what this is the Nerfies. A lot of people love doing Nerfies with the no run first innings. And I see the hype because, the game just started and then all of a sudden you win. It's very good because you don't even have to watch the whole game. You don't have to watch anything. It's just literally the first inning. Sometimes it's 6 batters and then that's it. And then you win. So I can understand the hype, and it's very popular. But check this out. All right, this is the best pitchers on the board today, and this is the Nerfy no run first inning all time. So this dude is 3 games. He's only played 3 games, and he's got 100% hit rate, meaning nobody has hit this guy to hit a run on the first inning. So he has a 3 game winning streak where they're not scoring on him. Paul Skeens, I already talked about him. He's for the Pirates. 86% hit rate. He has a 20-game winning streak where they're not hitting him to score 1 run in the first inning. I'm not going to explain this again, but basically 85% over here for Lopez. 3-game winning streak, 3-game winning streak, 2-game winning streak, 5-game winning streak for Sanchez. That's the one I just talked about. So he has a 5-game winning streak. That goes back to what I was just saying about the Phillies, about how Sanchez has decent information. Basically, five-game winning streak, 73% hit rate. They're not scoring on him. 14-game winning streak for Wacha. Holmes, 7-game winning streak. Williams is 3-game winning streak. And Peralta, this dude is very good too. Freddie Peralta, 8-game winning streak. All right. So that's what I'm throwing up on the board inside the Discord this morning. Now, this is a little bit broken down a little bit better. It's easier to understand here. All this little blue stuff just means that it's cold. So, for example, over here it's saying this is the away pitcher, this is the home pitcher. Okay, so now we're looking at the full game. This right here was just to straight up the pitchers. Who has the hottest streaks and what's the percentage of that streak? Okay, now we're going to go deeper into the games themselves. So now, right, what I did here is I'm looking at all the batters, or I'm sorry, all the pitchers that have a less than 70% hit rate in the last 10 games to put them as blue. And then all the ones that are 90% or better to put them red. So that's why it stands out right here, blue. So this guy sucks. They hit off of him. And basically, like I said, the left team over here is the away team. The one on the right is the home team. So Angels, I'm going to use the example. Angels is on the left. That's the away team. Yankees is on the right. That's the home team. And that's the breakdown over here, okay? Left and right. So Angels, cold. Like I just mentioned why I'm going with the Yankees. Look at Rondon. He's at an 80% hit rate. This doesn't really change much because this is specifically for no-run first innings, okay? But overall, this stands out dramatically right here. So if it's telling you Gravy and Vassell, okay? Gravy, I think that's how you say it, Gravy and Vassell. So let me see who the hell they play for. Who the hell do they play for? It's supposed to have the team right here, not the player. Anyway, like I said, I'm still working on this stuff, but basically this is telling you that these two guys are hitting at 100% hit rate on the no-run first innings. So if you look at this data, if you're just looking at this graph, you're like, all right, let me look at this game right here because both of these pitchers are at 100% hit rate not to get no-run first inning. Is that making sense, guys? So Ralph is saying St. Louis. Okay, Cardinals. McGreevy is for the Cardinals. All right, cool. Thank you. So this is the Cardinals game, okay? So both pitchers have 100% hit rate on the no-run first inning for the Cardinals. All right. So is this making sense? Let me know. Let me know if this is making sense. What can I do different here? Because I can mimic or change this data any which way I want. What would you give me a suggestion that I do to make this easier to understand? Can somebody tell me? And basically what it's saying is here's the career number, here's the location number, here's the last year, and then the last 10. So the last 10 is what we're looking at, and then the location also. Location is just where they're playing. So if St. Louis is playing in St. Louis, then they're playing at home, and we're looking at how well he does at home versus away. So, all right, guys, that's a lot of information. I know I threw a lot today. I appreciate you all that are here. If you haven't done so, go to the link in the description, click on free picks. Also, if you wanted the no-run first inning stuff, we're throwing that as part of the Discord. And let me log into the Discord real quick. I'm going to show you something. All right, let's see. So we have a section here where live bets. That's what Bob was saying earlier. There's a section here that's live bets, and people throw their stuff in there. Like, hey, look at this right now, and people follow that. So I was not paying attention yesterday, but people made money with other people sharing their plays live. What the hell is I going to show over here? Oh yeah, here we go. So real quick, guys, look at this. Actually, I don't want to show all this. There's just a lot of information, basically. So let me take a screenshot, and this is what I shared today. Okay, so let me take a screenshot. So, for example, this is what I share in the morning. Okay, this is one of the items that I share inside the Discord. So basically, it's telling you the over and the under for all the games, and it's telling you just the heavy trends. Okay, I'm not going to read through all of them, but then I also give you the insights for the games themselves. So all of that is part of the Discord for only $10. You cannot beat that. Plus, a lot of people are sharing live plays. They're sharing information on who should win, why they should win. I started actually throwing in there, hey, these are the three teams I'm looking at. I don't specifically say this is what I'm going with because I share that with the VIP, but I give you a very clear indication on who I'm looking at and why. All right. So if you guys want to take advantage of that, that's the Discord. Also, the link in the description, like I mentioned. And last thing I'll say, if you guys want this stuff here, where I'm starting to add the images just to make it a little bit easier to understand. So right there, that's the breakdown of the line move. That's the pitcher probabilities. That's the win probability, the projected scores. That's, again, the line move for the other team now, for the other game. The pitchers. I even started highlighting, like, watch out with this. Again, the win probability plus the projections. What else? Line move. So I'm starting to add all these images is what I'm trying to say. I'm starting to highlight these green sections, these red sections. But what I was trying to say, I guess, is I'm gonna make this into a dashboard. So whenever you click on the game, it'll give you this breakdown, and it'll be nice and laid out like this with the images, with like clear, very clear, easy to understand. Rather than having to read all of this, this is 16 pages of information for 4 games. So I understand it's a lot of information to go through, but this is what it takes, man. If you want to compete against the books, this is the type of information they have, and now this is kind of lays out the flat ground against them. So make sure you take advantage of this stuff, guys. The link is in the description. Again, it's called the Sharp Edge. It's right here. That's where under tools that we use. And I'm hooking you guys up for, if you type in the word trial, you get 6 months for $60. And that's only for the first 10 people. Once I put it into a dashboard, I'm going to do this for $25 a month because it's going to be so clean, very easy to understand. You don't have to read a lot. It'll just have all the graphics and all that stuff. So it'll be a lot easier to understand, a lot easier to read also. But all right, guys, I don't see any other comments. If you're on Twitter or anywhere else, go to YouTube. If you're on Twitter, go to YouTube and type in the word Beast Sports Picks. Make sure you subscribe over there. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to check Twitter, see if anybody is commenting. Give me a second. No, I don't see anything. No, I don't see any comments. So, all right. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you all, man. I'm going to go one final time. I do like the Yankees at a +1. I like the Tigers at a +1. I like the Tigers at a -1. I like the Reds, and I like the Phillies. All right, guys, let's have a great day, man. Let's break this losing. These 2 days ago, we had a slight loss at a -0.79 loss, and then yesterday was a losing day. Let's break that streak, man. Let's have a great day. Thank you.